down there. COVID-19 Emergency Response Act 2020, 25A, removal of children. All this that's going on in Victoria and other countries around the world will come here if we allow it. I'm looking at all you people here today. We're not going to allow it. It seems everything that has gone on around the world has filtered down to us here in Ireland. Flatten the curve. Protect the old people. Protect the hospitals. Everything that had happened all over the world has happened here. So why wouldn't that emergency response that's going on in Australia happen in this country too? You might not believe it could happen here, but it will, if we let it. The time to act is now.
The fucking shit will let it happen!
I've only one more thing now. As we see again, the banks, KBC and other banks, are coming in sending paramilitary-style gangsters to repossess houses from the people, struggling with their rents and their mortgages. This is not right. The Irish government has lied to us again and said there will be no repossessions while the pandemic is raging. So is the pandemic over? Is that why they're taking homes off people now? The pandemic is over so they can go and repossess people's homes. I don't think so. Irish people are so ill-informed about the wearing of face masks. I've seen a live stream there one day and a woman actually said, "Do you not have to wear a badge saying you were exempt?" Like a yellow star maybe. Does that sound familiar? The Germans. So I'm going to wrap it up there, and I'd just like to say thanks to the Yellow Vests, Glenn, Mark, Lorraine and the rest of the gang here. And for each and every one of you people, I can't all shake your hands, but I'd like to thank you all for coming today and to support your own rights and support the Time for Change. And don't forget to look up my channel on YouTube, The DIY Show, and make sure you enjoy the videos and subscribe and leave a comment. So, thanks very much people for coming out. Sorry about the weather.
Alright, thanks very much Paul. I'm going to introduce you to Michael Leahy. Michael's a human rights activist, mental health activist and an architect.
Thank you very much, Fred. You know, I didn't think you got crowds this big in Ireland unless it was for a credited meeting of AIB. So this is some turnout, and I'd like to thank you all very much for coming. My name is Michael Leahy. I'm the Vice Chairman of the Irish Freedom Party. And as our name suggests, we have one overriding value, and that is the value of freedom. That's what we're here to support today. This nation's history was born from a centuries-old struggle for freedom. And that is what defines our national characteristics. That is what Ireland is known as. We are known as a people which will stand up to the oppressor and stand for the rights of the individual. And that's what we're doing here today. President Kennedy, when he came here many years ago, he reminded us that when his ancestors came from Ireland, they had brought only two possessions. The first was a strong religious faith, and the second was a thirst for liberty. Those values often go hand in hand, and the Irish thirst for liberty is known throughout the world. We have been known as a people who have always stood four square behind the oppressed and who have involved ourselves in the freedom struggles of other nations, most notably in the American Revolution. But there is no doubt that today, Irish liberty and Irish freedom is under threat as never before since our independence. Our membership of the European Union has meant we no longer have the right to pass or to scrutinise our own legislation. Our rights of legislation have been abolished. Our government, as we speak, is engaging in a proposal to delimit our rights of freedom of speech and our rights of freedom of thought. And they are doing that at the behest of the black-shirted fascists we see over in that bridge, who absurdly call themselves Antifa. Their hate speech laws are being introduced at the behest of a viciously racist organisation who have reversed the dictum of Dr. Martin Luther King and now propose to judge people not by the content of their character but by the colour of their skin. And that organisation is the organisation known as Black Lives Matter. If you don't know about it, it's a Marxist organisation which seeks to destroy liberty. Mussolini would be proud of them with their black shirts and their ridiculous slogans and their pathetic numbers. However, the most insidious attack against our freedom today comes from the spurious pretext of fighting the COVID-19 epidemic. This attacks our rights of freedom of movement, our rights of freedom of association, our rights to earn a living, and with the introduction of mandatory mask wearing, our rights of bodily integrity. The education of our children is being undermined. A massive new public debt has been incurred, which will be the cause of recession for years to come. And this is being done by a government which is not able to justify its actions. There is no evidence that crashing the economy and attacking our liberties will save a single life. But there is every evidence that it is the egregious and unnecessary actions taken in the lockdown and ongoing in our health systems that will be the real killer, not the pandemic. Be argued that the lockdown was justified for a brief period of time when we didn't fully understand the virus, but we now know that the level of mortality was very low, and those deaths that have been ascribed, if they have been correctly ascribed, which is incorrect, are more likely due to the incompetence of government, which did not handle the matter of the elderly and the vulnerable as it should have done. That's the cause of the deaths, not the virus. In the various programs of restriction imposed by our government, no account has been taken of the mental health of our population, particularly of our elderly. No account has been taken of spiralling suicide rates. No account has been taken of the long-term impact of denying early detection and treatment for cancer sufferers. And that is going to create a tidal wave on our health service in the year to come. No account has been taken of the ruinous impact on small businesses, pubs, restaurants, tourist facilities, small operators who are forced to see their life's work cast aside and are forced to close their doors. No account has been taken of the suffering of people who have been forced to watch and not being able to participate and accompany their loved ones on their final journey. What a dreadful, dreadful suffering that has caused. We can only wonder at the long-term impact of the destruction of our education system on the socialisation of our children and on the way in which the most vulnerable and the most needy will be left behind yet again. No account has been taken of the ongoing psychological damage done to our people or to the morale of this nation by the creation of a climate of fear, hostility and suspicion among our people. It is this tactic precisely that of creating fear and suspicion which is always used by those who seek to impose tyranny on a society. For the past 6 months, our government has abandoned their decision-making powers and handed over the process of government to a group of public health officials. These are people who do not have the wide focus necessary for the administration of a modern state. They have not taken into account the ramifications of their decisions. In failing to provide the oversight necessary of government, our government has essentially abandoned our democracy. They have declared war on democracy on the pretext of a public health emergency. We must also comment that those very institutions which are meant to protect us in times of emergency have left us behind. They have been found to be wanting. Where has been the opposition? Why has not one party in the law seek to scrutinise the legislation and seek to hold the government to account? Where has been our supine media? Well, we know what they're like. They have been as cheerleaders for this government. They have never critically